Hello everyone and welcome to the RPGeeks. We're here doing Dungeons and Dragons and Science, all set in the sci-fi world of Braxigantu. Forgot about the echoes. We are 4 science communicators. We love to play D&D and we love to talk about the science behind the science fiction concepts that come up in the game. So before we get into the science, let's go around and introduce ourselves. I will start. My name is Sharmini. I use mostly she, her pronouns. I make science films. I've been working on a great film today. It's out next week. I'm going to be posting about it. It's going to be great.
Can you tell us what it's about?
No. It's kind of about online communication like we're doing now.
Fancy.
Bates.
Hello, I'm Emily Bates. I too make science films, and I've been working on an interesting film that will be out. One will be out the end of this week. One will be out beginning of next, which is all about what can I say? It's all about robots being used to deal with some very old stuff. It's quite cool. But I think I can say more, but I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually.
Go watch it on.
Could be a lot of things.
I'll probably tweet about it.
My imagination has gone wild with that.
I know. I was going to places. I was like, I can't be here at this time.
Robot
This imagination
warriors
place.
are beating back tides of mummies.
Send them back to the past.
Have you seen the film already?
Yeah,
Robots versus mummies.
No, because every one of your
robots
films is just trying to recreate the mummy and trying to get Brendan Fraser as part of it.
Full disclosure, I watched The Mummy with
I still haven't seen it.
With Brendan
with my
Fraser.
other half. And obviously with Brendan.
With his wife.
That would have been quite special as a sort of director's commentary right to the side of your
Oh,
head.
it would be so beautiful.
And it was
Dear Brendan.
enjoyable. It wasn't a disappointment. It
was-
aged well.
No, it
I've
was
not
good.
seen it.
It's just, there was some structural problems. But apart from that...
You know what film still holds up?
If the Egyptians could build
George
anything,
of
it was
the
a
Jungle.
structure.
I'm pretty sure at the end of the Mummy,
ironically,
fell down though. So structural problems.
Your spoilers.
Wait, no, in the
Spoilers.
first one...
Now we've got to put spoilers.
The whole
Spoilers.
thing where everything something fell
Wow.
down.
The
Anyway.
second one is where that
Okay.
temple gets
Oh, maybe.
Simon.
What did it? Well?
Who are you?
Oh, right, Simon. Oh, Simon. Introduce
hello.
yourself.
Yes, hello, I'm Simon. I too am a professional video person. I am working on a video which will be out this week about a PhD student in Scotland who is researching exoplanets in science fiction.
In what?
What?
Yeah!
That's a concern.
Not real exoplanets.
She's
Ali,
looking
that
at
was very
this.
loud.
This isn't a spoiler, and everyone
Just-
should watch this. But she's researching how the depictions of science fiction, of exoplanets in science fiction have changed before and after the discovery of real exoplanets, and how the science has improved
That's
fiction.
cool.
That is cool.
Really cool PhD, and I'd come back to today, seeing as we're doing what we did today. I came back from a literary festival because I was talking about my book behind me. I'm getting better at learning
Does
where to
anyone
point
know
at
that?
it.
Did you know that Simon?
Yeah, that was pretty much
Simon
bang
wrote a
on.
book. Has anyone heard
Oh my
that?
god!
I barely mentioned it.
Rumors.
Didn't you narrate it?
I narrated it.
I heard that Simon narrated an audiobook version. So
I hope you said. I mean, I
Find
have
that
listened to the
audible.
audiobook, and you didn't, unfortunately, mess up any words catastrophically, as far as I can tell.
I had a very good editor for that. I definitely messed up several words catastrophically during the recording.
This is a long introduction.
It is. Ali Jennings, over to you.
keep it
Oh
up.
god, I'm not ready. Yes, I too. Videos and a bit of science communication, just in the non-video sphere. Very exciting. And yeah, he, him. I mean,
Rebel.
rubble. I mean, that's it. That pretty much sums me up. Exactly, I would have said.
Cool.
In which case, should we talk about science?
End communication.
Go on, then.
Yeah.
We need
What?
music for the science? I don't. I'm confused about whether.
Oh, before we do that, are we going to talk about some of the fun things we've
Let's do
done
that,
slash
yeah.
have coming up?
Let's do that before the break.
Oh, tease.
I
Okay.
feel like we should do
Jeez,
it
we've
around
done some
then.
fun things recently
Yeah.
that you should
We've
hear
done
about.
some
Yes.
Yeah. Don't
Yes.
tell them, Cheryl. Shh. I've got science for you today. Folks, I've got some science.
Never.
And then this comes
What?
as a shock.
No, you're
Science.
shitting
This is
now.
Don't
what I
believe you.
showed you. But
Get
you
out of
remember
town.
last time we went to
Quickly,
that
Simon,
bar.
mute her.
Oh, my science! My science! You remember how we hung out at that bar and played Dukesy Telsies or Doozy Bad Thing?
How could I forget?
Yes,
Remember
I
that?
do.
I
It's
shot
the
a
best
guy.
drinking game ever.
You shot a young girl.
In the
Like a half. No,
What
we
was she
did
doing
half
at the
way.
bar? You may ask. It doesn't matter.
We met this person. I think I said guy, but I don't think we. I think they use they them pronouns. But we don't know. And they
were a she.
They we no, we definitely don't know that. They just had some elegant hands and maybe some sort of jewelry.
What they called the mistress? No.
No.
That's someone else.
Completely wrong.
They were called the broker.
The broker. Oh, I have written they them next to that.
So
Actually, so
them.
yeah.
It was like deal or no deal.
And they had this big hood on, right? So classic fancy figure at a bar with a big deep hood. But when we got a glimpse of their face, it was just like this constantly moving, shifting patterns.
Terrifying.
Like did it look solid or like some sort of like 3D holographic projection? Like I don't even know. Like DM.
Podcast listeners, Ali is currently like put his hood up and then was like moving his hands around his face in a really weird way. You described it. Yes, it was freaky.
Yeah, I've freaked myself out. Yeah. No, you've pretty much summed it up perfectly, Shamini. But you didn't know. You didn't know if it was a hologram or if it was real. It was impossible to tell since only Infinity saw it and she was bricking it.
And I got frightened, so I ran away.
My assumption on that this figure who's clearly involved in crime and
we know that
things
because we know they're the undertow, right?
Yeah,
we know that's crime.
We were like we would like to take an illegal trip, and someone was like, "Go see them." So you know that's the kind of gist there. My thought on this was that this whole setup was to avoid maybe automated facial recognition systems.
A
la Minority Report kind of thing.
Oh, I forgot. Someone mentioned like
films I haven't seen,
and I forgot to go like look at it because apparently that's like a whole thing in Minority Report.
Well, in Minority Report, actually, it's not the face; it's the eyes.
It's the ocular recognition. Yeah,
because there's a scene.
The whole thing. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. A lot of body horror.
Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, facial recognition software is definitely something that exists now that I can go look up. And there are some fun things. Some people in chat mentioned some last time of what you can do to try and avoid them.
Mask
is good. Mask is good. We will get to that. But the first thing I wanted to say was that I looked up like facial recognition technology, and I was actually quite surprised by all of the things that all of the times that we meet facial recognition software that I never really sort of added it all up together. I was gonna open the floor for where could you think of that use?
I know one really specific place.
Put your hand up. This is not okay, Simon.
When you unlock your phones, Miss Blundell.
It's mux and. Yes, fine. Face ID, yeah. On computers and phones, like you think of that, yeah. That's Emily.
In Gordon's Wine Bar in London, they have facial recognition as you go in.
No.
How come? Like what?
Because how do I know this? I know it because I was working on a show where we were doing a thing on facial recognition, and they were looking at it for security purposes. And so they have this facial recognition software that can highlight if it's someone they've banned from the bar. And it will go bing bing. They've come in.
People are like, is this like Gordon Ramsay?
I will say when I haven't checked this is still a thing, but this was 4 years ago that I was working on this roughly.
This is nothing to do with Gordon Ramsay.
Nothing to do with Gordon Ramsay.
Sorry,
did someone say Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon.
No, it's not.
No, I
this
said
is about
Gordon
you.
Ramsay.
Just stay on the stream. It's all right.
Very lovely wine bar.
It's a wine bar, right? Okay.
In London.
Maybe Gordon
Have you not
Ramsay
been?
had a lot
I'll
of
take you.
enemies.
We should all go to Gordon.
We should go to Gordon's wine bar.
How does everyone know about this?
It's a lovely.
It's like one of the most
really
famous,
lovely.
best wine bars in London.
Yeah.
You say that like that means that I should know about it.
It does. So you're on the defensive already.
Next RPGeeks London trip, we're going to Gordon's Wine Bar, and we can point at the camera and be like, "Oh, facial recognition." And they did. I mean, they might not be using it anymore, but they had like signs up in there being like, "Just so you know, like we're using facial recognition software," and it was like part of a bigger trial that other places were looking at. And this was years ago, so potentially lots of places using it.
Electronic passport gates use face.
He didn't put his hand up.
Yeah, Ali was next.
Oh, sorry. I'll go sit in the corner.
You're already in a corner.
Oh God, you can hear Ali.
In the Met Police use it, or at least they're trialing it.
Yeah. We a lot of us either live in London or hang out in London, and in many cities around the world, there is just facial recognition software being used by police forces around. So things like protests, big gatherings, sporting events, looking for people.
Wine bars.
looking for people going to wine bars. But I mean, so people accused of a crime who they're hunting, but also there was definitely at least one discussion of them using them for like looking for witnesses or people who know someone who they might want to talk to. Like it really gets quite broad about who they've got on their system for finding people.
And now, I'm assuming that it's far more widely used in other places, like, for example, China, that have a much more surveillance capacity and use it a lot more broadly. Right?
China, where's my China? I got some China stats for you.
Ooh.
No, I've lost
She's ready for you, Simon.
She knows what you're going to come up with. You're like, I'm going to get her with a question about China.
It's not a gotcha. It's like, interesting point.
This is great because it's
not a gotcha anymore.
Launched in 2006. It is called the Skynet Project.
Oh, that's not terrifying. Good.
As of 2018, there were 20 million cameras in China, many of which were capable of real-time facial recognition deployed as part of Skynet. Some officials claim that the Skynet system can scan the entire Chinese population in 1 second.
What?
What?
What, if they were all in one place?
Not fact check that. That seems to be like something that they're boasting about their system.
How many
I think
people
it just means as in the speed at which it can do it.
But still, that's
not that it will do that in any given 1 second, just that it could.
Oh, as in the processing capacity to identify that many faces.
But still, that's a lot of people.
I believe there's quite a lot of people in China.
How many per cameras did you say?
Unknown.
20 million.
Apparently, the UK has 5.2 million CCTV cameras.
I can believe that.
I think we're the sixth most surveilled country.
With like 3 million of them must be in London.
Yeah.
Wow.
How many of them are
I remember there was an issue where the King's Cross development, a lot of that is private property. So the company that owned it had put up facial recognition software and cameras around King's Cross. And I mean, in general, with facial recognition cameras being everywhere, like human rights organizations are not very keen. But in that case in particular, like they could kind of do what they want. It's private property, but people have jobs in that area, can't really consent or not consent to having their features. Yeah. And the question is, it's essentially biometric data, right? It's equivalent to DNA or fingerprints or other things.
Your voice.
But
do they sell the data? Are they allowed to do that?
I'm not sure what the laws are on what you can and can't do with it, but I think the big problem is the laws are so far behind technology, right?
Biometric laws are like not up to speed with the amount of data we give away with like our phones and banking apps and stuff like that.
Photos like software is another one. So like Facebook tagging, where they like learn who your faces are, which is very useful.
Yeah. My phone goes, hey, do you want to see all the pictures of this person that you've got in your phone? And I'm like, I didn't tell
Sometimes
you
it's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I've looked through my Google
really
Photos recently for individual people, and like especially if it's someone that they have a very good fit on, like my fiance, they will have a picture of the back of her head.
Her face is so blurred.
That is crazy.
But I think sometimes what that is there'll be a sequence of pictures where maybe she's turned around, and by the timestamp,
the back of her head.
they will identify it. It's nuts how with enough training data they can be that accurate, because it is accurate.
It's also doesn't like in many cases doesn't seem that bothered by like face masks that everyone's wearing for COVID. So
on that, my phone the other day was like, hey, do you want to be able to open your phone with your face recognition with your mask on, like recalibrate it? And I haven't done it yet, but it was like, so it means you can be on the tube and like still have your mask on. And
so it's obviously largely based on the geometry of your eyes then, in terms of image recognition.
It can be, yeah.
So the other thing with facial recognition software is every single one is different, and they're all, I think they're all kind of like machine learning algorithms. So they're all black boxes. We don't really know what most of them are doing.
Is it all geometry, or is it like
work.
about contrast between, your eyebrows and the color of your eyes and, your irises and stuff?
Some of them, I think it's 3D. Shapes. Yeah. Some of them,
really?
Like,
wow.
Some kind of like, maybe it's Apple Pay or something. I can't remember which one it was. Gets the contours as well. You could not hold up a.
One of them has.
Loads of them you can't hold up the picture. It doesn't work with. You have to be.
Yeah, iPhones. It's like a lidar. I want to say, like it's some form of.
Like infrared
it's some
or
form
something.
of bouncing signal off.
Apple's Face ID infrared. I read. Yeah.
What does LiDAR stand for?
I hope you wouldn't ask that.
Oh, no, I used to know it.
I think
Laser.
It's like
Interferometry?
light detection and ranging, probably, because it's radar is detection.
No, don't tell me.
Yeah, light detection and ranging.
Where's the eye?
In light.
Oh, Eldar.
That's crap.
Eldar.
Scientists, name things better, like penis that I discovered today.
Yes, they are part of the male genitalia, Simon. It's good that you found one. But
Never seen one myself.
Simon's been exploring.
But what I discovered was that
Simon's been learning.
and I found this thing on the internet called a penis, which stands for Proton Enhanced Nuclear Induction Spectroscopy. And I saw this as a meme on Facebook, and I was like, "There's no way that's true." And I looked up the original paper, and it is a real thing.
Where were the authors based?
In America, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's like a language difference thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say like sometimes people like
in the in section like there's table of contents in this report, and it's like in experimental setup in the spectrometer section in the associated RF hardware there is section 4.3.2.1 which is penis setup.
how to install your penis.
New firmware update.
Firm is not an adjective I've ever used, but it's so bang on. Like
firm. That's a disconcerting level on the mold scale. Anyway, sorry. Yes, scientist shit name LiDAR. That might be what they're using in iPhones. Back to you, Sean.
I've got one more fun use of, I mean, there's loads more uses of facial recognition, but the one that I found really interesting was there was a Taylor Swift concert in 2018, and they had a little kiosk near where people were coming in that I think played a video with a camera, I think hidden in it, that was scanning people's faces as they came into a concert. Looking for stalkers. I don't know what just happened.
You just keep going.
I would, but
wait. So
I know it's because I subscribed. I subscribed to Simon's channel because my subscription had run out, and I just said "yay penis" in the message that pops up. So I'm sorry. I did it just to make Simon laugh. I'm sorry. You carry on. Sorry, podcast listeners. Sorry.
So hang on. So Taylor Swift, there's a booth looking for stalkers of Taylor Swift.
Yeah, not just yes,
just generally.
No, yes, as in
it's all making sense.
As in, yes, because there were a few known stalkers and she'd had some threats, so they scanned the people coming to the concert. I have no idea what kind of consent that was for, but I bet you like when you sign up to buy the tickets,
it will be there
away everything. Yeah. So I don't think they knew they were being scanned.
Well, I mean, I've done TV shows where we literally were filming in very public areas. We would just put up posters around. And if you walk past and you didn't see that poster, you were basically giving away your right for us to use your image in perpetuity worldwide in all media for as long as they wanted. And there's very little you can do about it because the signs had to be clearly.
Because ethically, right? The only difference between a machine going through footage and recognizing an individual versus a human operative watching the output of a camera and identifying faces,
super recognizers.
Yeah, well, the only difference is that you're storing the data, right? It's exactly the same process as just a human operative doing it.
It's the data part, though. That's the
only.
You could, in theory, as a human, you could still store that data, but it's the image itself which you're getting, which you wouldn't be getting as a human.
I think, broadly, it is just part of a surveillance society because there is no privacy. People can know exactly where you are at any point, and they can link that with your name, address, social media profiles, personal data.
I mean, what's super interesting is this is a bit of a tangent, but you were saying how in that big development in King's Cross they have this stuff, but they don't tell you, right? So they don't.
I think they've taken it away now because I think everyone was like, "Boo!"
But also, there's no signs in King's Cross telling you that you're on private land, and that's like a big deal that you can be on private land, and like you were saying, Bates, like you put up signs saying, we're filming here, and if you come past the sign, you're going to get used, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Weirdly, actually did it in King's Cross. Funnily,
and that's like a much bigger issue. I went to like a court case where a guy was protesting, and these people had put up these signs on this space where they were doing some work, and his whole argument was, look, I just walked past these signs without seeing them, and I didn't know that you have a legal right to own this land, so I was just stopping you. So he didn't see the sign, and he still got banged up for it. That was the ruling in that case. Ooh. And like the whole.
What did he do? Sorry, just went on some land he wasn't meant to go on? Or
Well, it was the HS2 project. They were basically tearing down some woodland, and he went onto the land to sit in a tree because he was like, look, you don't own this land, you can't tear this down. They put up some signs, but he didn't see the signs. So he was going to get sent to jail. He got a prison sentence, suspended. But that's basically, British law will always rule with the landowner. That's the way that the precedent works. Anyway, that's
another issue with this, which is a lot of issue with machine learning stuff, is with all this facial recognition software and the fact that it's machine learning, we don't know how it works, which means it's often really hard to tell how accurate it is, and it can be biased in its mistakes.
yes,
So depending on the training set, it could be very bad at recognizing people who aren't white or who have more unusual skin colors or appearances, people who don't fit standard gender norms, like a man with long hair, apparently very confused system in a test once. And even if you're not using this to sort of confirm someone's identity, like let's say for a crime, even if you're not kind of relying on that, you can still be making arrests based on that.
It was am I pulling this out of, this might have been a thing that people said potentially could happen in the, stop and searches were one reason they were going to use it. And they were like, well, hang on, if this training data set isn't like bang on, you're going to get some very racist stop and searches, which is already a problem. And we don't need to increase it with technology that just doesn't know any better because it's technology.
And those algorithms aren't public. Like we, the public, cannot find out on what basis the police say are then stopping people. But
and it's something to stress that, like, it's not, I think there's a very common misconception when like people complain about this stuff, and I say complain in the sense of justifiably, like it's not the algorithms that are themselves flawed, or it's the researchers who are training them. It's the data that gets put into it that exposes the researchers' biases. And sometimes that's just a function of what data is available. Like I've trained machine learning stuff, and you have to go with the data that you have. And sometimes that just leaves you open to these really, unintentional problems with it.
But it isn't part of it. It's the success condition that you set as well.
That's one aspect of it for sure. But I think the majority of problems that we have in terms of certainly biometric stuff comes down to the data rather than how you're processing it. Really,
and also the fact that you don't necessarily know how it's being processed, so you don't know, like, problems can come up due to randomness in the data set, due to sort of the algorithm focusing on the wrong thing without you realizing it. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong if you don't know exactly how it's working.
Biometrics is so interesting.
So how are we going to
fix it?
And how do we fix it? This is not going to end in a positive, like, don't worry, I've solved it, guys. But I do have some like wacky ideas for you if you want wacky ideas.
Always.
So one of them,
don't even ask,
Ali mentioned already, which is my favorite one. Does anyone know about in World War One, they used to paint all their massive warships with like
the funny colours, with the
zigzags?
That makes sense.
Like wacky patterns. So that's called Dazzle Camouflage, and the idea is
even the old razzle dazzle.
It's a bit.
All the seamen are on the surface, just like
classic 1940s like wordage.
But it's kind of like zebras. So with zebras, it's like you can't see where one zebra begins and another one ends.
Are you saying that the zebra stripe pattern is the razzle dazzle for nature?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, nature's razzle.
Yeah.
So it's when they all stand in a group, you can't pick one out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Presumably a lion's just like, wow, that's a big zebra.
I'm going to eat for
really big flat zebra.
The lion is in that one moment trying to chase the zebra and suddenly gets confused about what it's looking at, and then the zebra's got away because it suddenly was like, oh god, that was it.
Oh no,
really your head. But with
why are tigers stripy? They don't travel in big groups.
That's camouflage, I believe.
I think
but
camouflage
just like dappled light.
Grass.
Yeah. Okay.
They're, for something that seems kind of bright orange, tigers are incrily well camouflaged.
Okay. I love tigers.
Tigers are great.
Have you ever seen a baby tapir? Their camouflage is very similar.
Do you remember when we walked past London Zoo and we saw the tapir?
And we were like jumping.
We were trying to jump up
because we didn't have tickets.
Do yourself a favour, people. Google baby tapir and that'll probably come up anyway. But like, it's similarly like if you just imagine it laying down on a forest floor, like.
Oh, his little nose.
They make the most pathetic sounds, baby.
Please, can you attempt to do it?
Tapir, and this is grown tapirs, will literally, and these things are like the size of a big pig, will make like a.
I'm gonna listen. This has got music on. I don't want the music.
It's like a tiny, tiny little noise.
So cute.
But the patterns completely change if it's a baby versus juvenile versus an adult.
As it grows up.
So cute.
The warships were definitely not invisible at all. They had great stripes on, but if you looked at it, it was really hard to tell like where the front was and which direction it was pointing, and even things like how it was moving. Yeah. So if you're trying to aim and you're trying to correct your aim for the course of the ship, it's much more tricky.
Yeah.
So computer vision Dazzle is kind of basically the same on that, and it's basically like, well, look, when the computer is looking for your face, it is looking for distinct patterns of light and shadow that tell you this is a face, here are the eyes, here is the nose,
stripes.
David Bowie's Zigzag.
Well, more than that. So what's the Insane Clown Posse? They have all like this.
Wow, this took a left turn, but yeah, okay, really... let's go.
Yeah,
that jumped up a notch.
Well, they have wacky face paint, don't they?
Yeah.
David Bowie's face paint. Why?
So it's just any discussion of science when they're like, right, okay, now Insane Clown Posse. Bear with me.
Have I said something inappropriate? I just
no, it's just a funny group.
No, you said it was so appropriate.
Thank you.
We're laughing of joy.
The Insane Clown Posse is the level of makeup that you would need to distract computer vision face recognition. David Bowie would not do it. You need
like level of face paint.
Yes, is that the scale?
Yeah.
On a scale from Bowie.
You could have like Kiss in there.
Bowie is
their like stars and stuff on their eyes.
You know how like criminals used to do this, right? Where they would, when you were robbing a bank, like the stereotypical thing was you'd put like tights over your head because that would obscure your features. Presumably that also works because it minimizes contrast.
Yes,
I hope so. I haven't read anything about that.
Certainly hope so for her many bank robberies.
In retrospect,
don't know. The problem is that this makeup. So you have to obscure the key features, like the bridge of the nose is apparently very important. You have to kind of know something about what the algorithm is looking for, so that you can put like really dark and really light in different places and like really throw it off. But first of all, like you're never going to be able to test it against the algorithm because you don't know what algorithm is being used. And secondly, it's just like a constant arms race between the algorithms and people putting wacky or even jewelry, like a golden bit of head jewelry that like comes down there and it hides you.
Really,
it's very funky.
That sounds lovely. That sounds very dazzly.
It's very cool and it looks very cool, but it definitely wouldn't work in our sci-fi future because I think the algorithms would just keep on being able to.
You don't know that. You don't know that because
algorithms people
they
are so good. Sorry, I didn't finish my sentence. I said people are so good as well. People are so good. People are so good at like recognizing faces, right? We see them everywhere. So like it makes sense that in the future algorithms would be getting pretty good.
Can you fuck with an algorithm by just providing loads of fake faces everywhere?
Yes,
you could disrupt the training data.
I've seen pictures of like a scarf covered in faces, or there's this pattern that someone developed that's supposedly covered in like, it looks like digital patterns that to a computer looks just like a face, but to a human doesn't because of the different ways.
Amazing. Also, scarf covered in faces, the most horrific thing you've said.
Scarf made of faces.
It's like Samwise's shirt that's just my face over and over.
That shirt is wonderful.
Face recognition, but like, I don't know what I'm looking at. But I don't like it.
There was another
strong Simon vibes. I don't know why.
That could genuinely work. Having a T-shirt with a picture on. There was one group that had like were testing out different pictures, and if they held pictures in front of their body, it just for some reason like they had a picture of like people with holding colourful umbrellas, and they just held the picture, a big printout in front of them, and the computer just stopped recognizing them as a person.
So the sandwich board.
Just very confused. Yeah, a sandwich board could work.
No, not a person.
Not a person, just a sandwich. Can I just say, can we
wrap up? Yes.
Is this a good place
to... I have so many more things.
We're doing very quick DnDebriefs, I'm afraid.
I will just say my final thing, that the best thing to do to avoid computer facial recognition is
chop off your face.
Cover up.
Stay inside.
Cover it up.
Don't do crime, kids.
cover up as much of your face as possible because algorithms are really good, and will be constantly improving. So I feel like this guy we met at the bar that one time has the right idea. However, they may be gotten by other forms of biometrics, such as, for example, apparently very popular voice recognition. I was going to say gait recognition.
Oh,
where they
yes.
identify you by how you're walking.
So interesting. Surely that is easy to throw off if you just start skipping.
Give them the old razzle dazzle. You just give them a little more
Just do a little tap dance.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
That's my explanation for this person's amazing
Thank you, Charlie.
disguise. Ta-da.
Before we throw to commercial, we don't have commercials. We should probably just quickly talk about what we got up to and was broadcast earlier this week, but I believe is available on demand. Ready?
It's on Twitch.
It's on Twitch for sure. Which was the second part of our one shot with Nature Check. And if you haven't seen it, was Cheryl? Did I see Cheryl in chat?
She was in chat earlier.
I mean, full disclosure, we didn't achieve much.
Lie. It went very well. I had such a good time.
It was somehow wonderful.
Oh, no.
Even though by the end of it, we were sort of in a similar position to at the start of it.
Disagree. People were dead.
But with more debt. Well, yeah, is that an achievement? I don't know. It depends how you want to measure that.
Minus
Not an achievement.
Minus sausage.
It's the D&D session with the best soup
Solitary.
you've never heard of before.
Oh, excellent.
Soup.
It was
So
chaotic. It makes these
was
streams
gorgeous.
look like, some kind of procedure at the Vatican.
Yeah, we're also charming.
I want to talk like Marnie the entire time.
So good.
I love her.
Yeah,
So Cheryl's the excellent GM over at Nature Check D&D. Please go follow them. She was enabling us and
Enabling is the
that and
right
ran with
word.
it. Yeah, facilitating. She would say. I think.
Enabling is the correct word.
Yeah.
and without giving a spoiler, we are going to have a third part to our one shot, which is
think
just
all
going to
that's
become our new
untrue.
campaign.
So do check that out. I think that's our little news update for you. So we'll have a quick break now and be back after the break with Dungeons and Dragons and maybe still a little bit more science.
A little bit of sense.
We can live in hope.
Little bit.
Right.
Maybe etymology corner. Let's hope so.
We've had no etymology corner.
As a
yet.
treat,
Right.
a little bit of seasoning on top.
Solve after
Ooh,
etymology.
Go to the break, my God.
Right, okay, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Welcome back to RPGeeks, Dungeons and Dragons and Science. We're at the D&D part of the show where we explore a wonderful science fiction world. My name is Sharmini and I'm playing Tenebris. Well, it's very dramatic, such a big dramatic.
Loving it.
I'm playing Tenebris.
So good.
Tenebris may appear to be a drow if we were in some kind of fantasy world, but is in fact a genetically modified human, specially designed for very specific conditions.
Very specific set of skills.
Very specific
Those-
set of skills.
Those conditions are darkness. Dark. That's dark.
Dark and a bit more darkness.
That's it. That's the special conditions. And she has magical powers and uses she/her pronouns. Emily.
Hello, I am Emily. I play Infinite Sky 6000, who is a terraforming druid droid who also has a very particular set of skills. She is mainly terraforming. That's the skill. That's what she's there for.
That's
And
the one,
surviving in space. She's
Yeah.
she was good at that. Probably not so good right now, but she's got a lot of skills. I know. That's her. She would be a wood elf, technically, if we were playing traditional D&D rules, but we've completely reskinned it, and she's this cool cyborg with screens all over her that look like the sky, and I love her. And she uses she/they pronouns. And Simon.
Hello, I am Simon, and I'm playing Uriel. He uses he/they pronouns. Uriel has a very specific set of skills. If you have a six-sided screw that needs to be tightened or loosened of any size, if we were playing a fantasy version of D&D, he would be a dwarf, and in our version in the future is a cybernetically enhanced human on the path to machinehood. And that voice you could just hear was our Lord and Master.
That was actually me. That generally was me doing the machine.
Was it?
That wasn't Ali. Yeah.
Oh my god!
My God.
But also here is Ali Jeff.
I too am here, and were we in some sort of fantasy setting, you could call me a dungeon master, but as it is, I'm more like the lord of space hulks.
We still call you a dungeon master.
Well, it's been wrong every time you've said it.
Gamesmith. I like Gamesmith.
I like Gamesmith.
Gamesmith.
Yes.
Yes.
No dungeons.
The big
Not a
GS.
master.
I am
Game
What?
Weaver.
Game Weaver.
Game
Love
Weaver.
it. I love it.
Dungeon
Seamless.
Weaver.
We know back to
Sounds
the
just a bit
dungeons.
pervy. Yeah, I know.
Dungeon Weaver. All my
They do a lot of
fabrics come from
fabrics.
dungeon
Interior.
weaving.
It's a little store. It's just up north of Hackney. You can't miss it. But everything is, it's...
The dungeon's been gentrified.
No, I'm getting the giggles.
The property prices in this fantasy realm have gone up. We're going to roll the film. We're going to get into it.
So, where were we? Well, this music might give you a clue, but let's just take a moment and reorientate ourselves. So, our intrepid 3 adventurers have found themselves on the coast of the Bunyawine Delta, the land of swamps and mangroves, of shifting mudflats, and riverfolk plying the waters with their trade. So, after a couple of interesting encounters, they made their way by boat to the town at the head of the mighty Boa River, a settlement called Lansdowne Port. Yes, you have heard that before, but
We didn't know.
Boa River.
I remember saying it.
I
It's
don't.
been said.
I missed it. I've written it down now.
The 3 of you are seeking passage off-world. Some of you are searching for answers. Some of you are hoping to return home. To pay for your travel, you are looking for a certain Obadiah Hogg, who you hear may have some work for you. And you've come from the Lobster Pot, a kind of floating bar underneath the piers of Lansdowne Port. And you've wandered your way through the old town surrounded by drunken sailors and various kinds of colourful individuals and neon lights. And you found your way to the Horn, establishment in the middle of Old Town. And as you smash your way in, 2 of you already drunk, I hasten to remind you, you see in front of you a 4-layered building. You've walked in on the 2nd floor if you were American, or the 1st floor if you were British. And you see in front of you a balcony. So you're looking out, and in the center of this room, this large room, it's been cut out in a square. And as you just go towards the railings that stop you from falling off and look down, you see below you a floor. And on it there are people dancing and twisting and shaking their booty. There's all kinds of people there. There's some of the shorter halfling people that you've seen and already made friends with. There's lots of sailors in there, sort of drunkenly kind of whirling around. There's some bigger people in there, and there's also some sort of slightly more mysterious folk with hoods over their heads and carrying sort of strange implements and with little bits of moss kind of like growing off the sides of their robes that have stayed to one side. And there's a band on the stage playing away, a big brass band. You look up and you see above you 2 more levels, like the one you're on, 2 more balcony levels. And there's people pushing past you. You can hear all sorts of rumour and people shouting and talking to each other, and there's all sorts of different conversations going on and filling your ears. The noise is riotous and bubbling, and as is the atmosphere. To your right, you see a long bar down one of the walls, and to your left you see staircases leading you up and down. And the last thing you see, hanging down in the space, you see bits of rope and rigging, you see strange metallic sort of objects, and you see all different kinds of people, musicians, trapped, stuck in the ropes, some hanging from different parts of the ropes. You see some what look like automatons who seem to be producing music, a strange kind of discordant vibration music, all adding to the din of the whole section. Some of them you see, they could self-propelled a little, they seem to almost be floating amid this kind of pile of junk, and it's like within the space, the sort of central open space has been constructed all manner of kind of junk musical generating apparatus.
So cool.
What
Someone draw it.
I thought this was a
would you
hotel.
like to do?
No.
It's like a cool bar.
Oh, why did I ever agree to go? This is another. Yeah, this
Simon,
campaign
this is good for you. It's good for
We're
you.
doing bar crawling.
Oh god, it's social anxiety simulator. Right.
This is
In
fun.
real life, if I came across this place, if I was half cut already, I would simply turn around and leave.
No, not if you're with us. You'd have to
Sure. No, I would feel socially obliged to stay if I was with you guys.
the best kind of obliged. Right. Where do we go? This is amazing. Do you think they're stuck? Should we get them out?
No one else is getting them out.
They seem fine.
Can
Do
I
they
just-
look happy?
Fate Weaver question. What time is this? Like, what time of night is this?
This was a question asked to the Fate Weaver last time, and I understand that none of you have the tell time exactly feat.
I argue
so
I should, but I don't technically have it.
What you do know is that the moon Lahubelius is very high in the sky.
Lahubelius.
Lahubelius.
Oh, we did know that. Yeah, we know that one.
And
I hadn't written that down.
you can just start to see the rim of a smaller, more orangey moon, Utrecha, rising above a different part of the sky, rising over the swamplands to the west of you.
Is sorry if you said this, I didn't catch it. Is the roof of the building, is it just hollow all the way up, or is there a ceiling? Oh no, because the people are hanging from ropes, so I assume they're not floating.
Yeah, there's a ceiling at the very top of it. but
It's not like looking out
there's
into the
a hollow
night sky or
space.
anything. Got you.
Although that would have been cool.
It's okay. Next time. The next
More
time.
hollow buildings.
Hollow buildings. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, we have to find Obadiah, shouldn't we? Should we get another drink? We shouldn't keep playing our game. We should go find Obadiah.
We should get a drink because I think if you want to blend in, you have to hold a drink.
I'm not very good at blending in, really.
Do we know what Obadiah looks like? I mean, we don't have any clue, do we?
I know. Obadiah! And I'll just shout.
Oh god, mates are killing me!
Make a performance check to see how loud you actually shout.
Minus numbers. Let's go. Where
She's gonna
is
get a
it?
nat 20. She's gonna get a nat 20.
Manifest it. Nat 15. 14.
14. You project your voice as loud as you can. You engage your various speaker systems.
Yeah.
And you see a few people next to you kind of turn to look at you a little strangely. There's a young halfling woman, quite kind of scantily clad, who seems to be talking to another woman next to her. They look around at you, glance around the bar, and then go back to their conversation. But no one maintains eye contact.
Right, okay. So,
We tried.
what does the chief of security look like? Like, big?
Not always. Because sometimes they have other big people to do the big burly stuff for them.
So we're going to look for someone who's big or someone who's small but surrounded by big people, which may make them look smaller.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea.
Bait Weaver, I would like to perceive the room.
Roll thyself and perception check.
You're also drunk.
Perceive with mine eyes. Ooh.
I'm not drunk, am I? It's just...
Oh,
It was the other two.
Right, well, one of them was a nat 20. The other one was a 13.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for big person or a small person surrounded by big people.
I see.
Flawless logic.
You look across the bar, and which level are you looking at? You can see down into the dance pit, and you can also see along the level at your level, but not really above. So those two, I guess.
Yeah, Yura would be looking at that. He's drunk. He's not making the best effort in the world.
You scan this kind of like rectangle, this sort of square, hollow square around you. You see lots and lots of different kinds of characters and figures all wandering around. One figure does catch your eye. They are taller.
Oh.
Propped up at the bar, you see an older looking figure. From here, it looks like a man, but their features are quite different to the people that you've encountered already. From this distance, you can see they have first of all, they're at least a head taller than all the average-sized people around them. Their head is completely shaved. Their skin, even in the darkness, you can see has a tint to it of a darker colour, maybe a shade of brown or green. And you can see through their denim jacket that they have powerful upper arms and broad shoulders. That's about all you get from this distance.
If you're called Obadiah, you're going to be bald. Like, that's science, isn't it?
Agree with that. Yeah, I think that's fair. Fair assumptions, if we're stereotyping, yeah.
Yeah. I'm basing on one data point, which is Obadiah Stone from Iron Man. It's not a very common name. What's Zach over there? You know,
Okay, should we do our normal going up to people in bars trick?
Well, you mean the whole we say the same thing at the same time?
Yes. Yeah. You come here after.
Okay, you come here. Okay.
You come here. Okay. I don't know, is that the... I'm not a people person. Tane, you're the people person.
Yes.
What's the best way to introduce yourself?
Maybe count us in or something. Shall I count us in so we all say it at the same time?
Okay, yes, that sounds good.
Yeah, we have to be polite, and I think that's what you do.
Should we get drinks first and then do
I think we should get drinks first, and I'm not just saying that because I want to drink, but I also want to drink.
Okay,
so...
let's go. I don't have money still. Are you two okay with me taking money from you?
Obviously, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We got to the bar.
Yes.
Is there a bar?
A taller, svelte young man comes over towards you. They brush the hair out of their eyes. They've got long dyed hair. They look at you. They're beautifully made up. Really kind of gorgeous, amazing cheekbones, very highly chiseled. And they're wearing a really excellently cut suit, but you can see just as they come over that suit has been worn a lot and it's been looked after, it's been cared for, but the material is thin. They hold themselves quite almost like a dancer. Hands on the table, they look at you. Tell me, please, how may I help you?
Hello.
Hello.
Do you have the drinks that make you taste like they're flying? Please.
We got, hold on a second. We got crud. We got crud, if that's what you're after.
Oh, no.
crud.
It's Targaxian liquor. Is that funny? Was that a joke? Did I tell a joke?
No, that's charming, I think. Y'all enjoy the finer things, do you? What are you doing down here, slumming it in the old town?
No, we just like alcohol, actually.
But the crowd sounds exciting.
You can't go far wrong with crud, if I may say
Okay.
so. Let me pour y'all 3 rounds of crud and see how you do with it. Maybe you'll feel like you're flying at the end of it.
Okay, that sounds good.
If it's standard issue, it's going to be fine.
The young man walks away, turns around to some of the heavy chaps on the bar and starts pouring out this liquor, amber, with a deep kind of like... when you can't see through it, you can see the sort of particles hanging in it, and it's got a strong head on it, a kind of frothy golden head. He pushes the 3 drinks over towards the bar, towards you. Yeah, that'll be 3 silver apiece, 9 silver, please.
I could get this.
Thanks,
my
Uriel.
round.
Thank you, Uriel.
Thank you.
Can I, as I'm paying, can I look to see if there's anything suspended in the drink?
Make an investigation check.
With disadvantage.
Come on, drunkie.
Just like it's like there's a blurry. I'm waiting for the images to align, and there's no parallax.
When you're doing that, you're like,
That is a 12.
With disadvantage.
Yeah, running quite well. It won't last.
You put your face up close to this glass and you look inside, and yes, there are tiny particles suspended within, but nothing major, nothing that would silt up at the bottom, for example.
No metal.
Not as far as you can see.
excellent. Right. Well, are you two okay? Because you're looking quite inebriated already.
That's great.
Okay, because I feel fine.
After this, like, it would be good if we could go to, like, somewhere, you know, where it's, like, just us. Or, like,
Oh,
a
we
room
could stay here as well.
forest.
Excuse me, friend. Hello.
Yes, what can I do for you?
Do you have rooms here?
We surely do. May I interest you in 3 of our finest?
Oh, I don't think... Do we need 3? Because we're all quite small, really. How big are they?
They are as big as you need them to be. We cater to all sizes. We cater to the smaller. We cater to the larger. We cater to the multiple. We cater to whatever you need on whatever day it is.
Oh.
I would like a bed, please. in the
There's
room.
a bed as well.
I don't need a bed. I just need space to lie down.
Well, she.
At no extra charge, we will provide you with a bed within your chambers.
Oh, I don't know. I've never had a bed before.
You wish for 2 beds in that one
We could have one chamber with 2 beds and I could sleep on the floor.
For you, madam, he looks at you, Tenebris. We would move beds and earth. Allow us to prepare your rooms. It will be a mere 1 gold a night.
I have that. I will give
Tenebra
you...
bar man. New.
I will,
New shit
I
name.
will... Look, I have my card thing, and I will just come and, give you the beepity beep.
He holds
people?
out the underside of his wrist, and you see as there's
very
a momentary
sensual.
slight glow underneath the skin. He looks up at you and locks eyes for a second, a slight smile on his face. I thank you
Nice.
kindly.
You have a nice wrist. Thank you.
Can Infinity make an insight check to try and work out what's going on?
You mean to understand the
concept
full
of what
flavor
is-
of human emotion? Yes.
Yeah.
Make a human emotion insight.
Has anyone ever complimented anyone ever on their wrists?
17.
17.
I think... Hang on, I'll tell you later.
The story there.
Not wrists. I'll tell you later.
You watch this interaction unfold, and you know you're a incredibly wise, very old, ancient being who has seen much and knows how to create life itself. And yet, you realize in this moment that there is much that did not come in the instructions you were given, and that this is something new and important and beautiful.
Tenebris.
Yes?
What's that? Were you flirting?
No, I was getting the rooms. I just you saw it. Jesus,
It's very
look, I got
exciting.
this room.
Just never seen it before. Sorry, that was anyway. I
Done
enjoyed that a lot.
Right, so I've known one or two heads of security in my time. That guy looks like a head of security.
Oh, yes.
Look, he's
Should we try
bald.
these drinks first? I would like a sip.
Oh yeah.
You knock it back. It tastes of kind of like beer as we would think of it, but a bit sludgier, but generally pretty good. Hits the spot. As you're drinking, the barman comes over and hands you, Tenebris, a key card. Much like we have in hotels now. Something that you could easily lose and it wouldn't be an issue.
Oh, I lost
Infinity
one on a trip
stares.
recently. It was so bad.
Oh no. Infinity just stares at the barman, like, just so intrigued by, like, what is going on in front of her.
Thank
Barman
you.
looks a little bit, just like, slightly perturbed, but he sort of stars it out and then says, "If y'all are not too tired, perhaps y'all could stay for a set coming on a little bit later. I myself am playing the trumpet. Just a suggestion for y'all."
Sounds lovely.
What's the trumpet?
It's an instrument.
Oh.
What's your name?
My name is Zachariah Changlefoot.
Great. Tenebria, she just sort of quietly says to herself and then walks away.
Damn it.
What was that surname again? Sorry.
Changlefoot. That's Changafoot.
Angle.
Barman, nice wrist.
Barman Nice Wrists, that's his new name.
Hello, Barman, nice wrist. Zachariah, do you know anything about that guy, by the way?
It's like a foot away.
Yeah, he's like, I'm pointing. Look at this bald guy.
Zachariah looks over towards the figure a little bit further down the bar, and leans over the bar to all three of you, and beckons you in conspiratorially. Well, it's policy not to talk about the regulars here, but that there is Obadiah Hogg.
That's the one we want. That's the
We
one.
were trying to find. Is he a nice person?
Yeah, he is the head of security for Delphine Lebrun. I mean, nice isn't really the word I would use, but it has a reputation for being fair, stern, but fair.
Right. Yeah, we were looking for him. He looked like the kind of guy, those people, and they just look like heads of security, and they're either big or they're surrounded by big people, and
I got an idea. We will bring to him a thing that he is usually liking to drink.
Yes.
That's how you make friends.
What does he normally
I did
like
it
to
the
drink?
wong way around last time. Last time I went up to someone, I was like, "Can I have some of your drink?"
Well,
This
that was
time-
the game, though.
Yeah, that was the. I lost the truthies, so yeah. What does he like to drink, please? Can we buy it? How expensive is it?
Well, he's a bit of a connoisseur, but he likes town sake.
Please, may we buy 1 glass?
Absolutely. Town sake, 1 glass, small and heated. That will run you. Well, it's a little bit more expensive than the crud. A good 9 silver.
That's the same price as all of our drinks.
must be 3 times as
Maths
good.
with infinity.
I will be purist again to
That's number wang.
money, please.
Again, he holds out his wrist. This time, he doesn't hold your gaze. Just receives the payment. Starts making the drink.
Good.
Infinity panics that she's done something wrong.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna go up to him. What? We're
Yes.
gonna go up to him, hold the drink out, and go all together. Do you come here often?
That feels like a lot, doesn't it? Yes, that makes sense.
That feels fine for me.
Okay.
The more
How are
stimulus, the
you
greater
doing
the
on your
response.
drinks?
Infinity, I think, is sort of not that bothered. She's just sort of taking a sip every now and again.
Hang on, Uriel is.
I'm sipping.
He has barely touched it.
Okay, so you sip at your drinks. You don't feel kind of a massive hit of any of this booze just yet. Just a pleasant taste in your mouth, and you feel like the vibes of the music are just washing over you. It's relaxing, but also exciting.
Right.
Okay, we walk over. We walk.
Okay, I'll go behind him.
I'll count in. Okay. We walk. 3, 2, 1. Do you
come
here
here
often? Hand out the glass.
Make just a flat party charisma check.
All of us. All of us. Not
That
just
means you each make
Tenebris.
it once.
Everyone, because you're all doing this together, right?
Oh,
Watch this.
yeah.
Shit.
Oof. I got 1 total.
I got 0 totals.
I only got a 14, so it's not really balancing
Oh,
that
pull
out.
your weight, Charmony!
Who's carrying the drink?
Charmony,
Not
yes.
probably
I thought-
Tenebris.
I thought I was, because
Yeah.
I bought it.
Tenebris, you, all 3 of you surround this tall, imposing figure, and you all lean in slightly too close and shout, "Do you come here off?" And Shamini, you stretch out your hand quickly towards his face, and just hold on a second.
Oh no, you're gonna.
I did not roll that with disadvantage, actually.
Oh,
No,
thank
it
God.
was straight because we were all doing.
Okay.
I thought you were just going to cut the music. Like,
Battle music begins.
And
wolf.
an arm, one of these very thick, muscular arms, slams out against your arm, Tenebris. That's 22 to hit.
Oh my god.
What?
Since the drink goes flying, sprays against the side of the bar. You take
It worked so well last time.
So well.
Oh,
you
God.
take 3
Oh, no.
points of bludgeoning damage,
I can afford that, jeez.
and this figure turns to face you.
Oh!
They loom over you, and you can see the bald head. And now, in closer up, you can see that it's a dusky shade of green, like almost a kind of moss green. You can see that the eyes are quite deeply sunken, but also there's sort of dark shade around the inside of the eye sockets, the eye cavities. You see that their teeth, the incisors, the canines of the lower jaw have grown up above the upper lip. And you can see that the cheekbones sit high and far back in the
There are
face.
some good cheekbones in this bar going on. Yeah, cheekbone
What
bar.
is this, Lothlorien?
But at the same time, you also see that the eyebrows are a kind of speckled grey, and that there are wrinkles in this face. And you can also see that age hasn't been kind. It's ravaged the body they have. There are wrinkles everywhere, there's sagging marks, and you can also see now, just above the collarbone line, you can see scars at symmetrical points down the neck, almost like a fishbone running down the side of the neck. They're wearing this sort of denim jacket, which you can see they're bulging out of.
Very cool.
And the last thing that strikes you is as they turn, you see the light glint off what look like metal strips just breaking the surface of the skin.
So, hello.
The drink!
Are you okay, Tenebris?
The drink got spilled everywhere.
They stare at you.
I got you a drink. We got you a nice drink that you like of town sake. You didn't have to hit me.
They turn back towards the bar. This figure wags their head at the barman, who comes moving over quickly. another darn sake on them.
Oh.
I'll get this one, Cerberus. You got the last one.
Okay.
That'll be another 9 silver, please.
Yeah.
Do you not get a discount?
Although charming as ever, disappears off to make the drink.
I don't think. Was that sarcasm? I think he did. Anyway.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Oh, come on.
Who, me?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's not bad. Persuasion 14.
Okay. He moves off to the other side of the bar, starts to make it.
Look, we're not here totally randomly. We were talking just now to the broker, and we heard that you might have some work going. We're new in town. We're sort of, we do like adventure-y type stuff as like the three of us.
You want any digging done?
Yeah,
You're
great
archaeologists.
Sometimes.
Right. Archaeologists, eh?
Or sort of fossils, yeah, sort of more paleontology.
It's ambiguous what we dig.
Well, we're not much in the market for that, I'm afraid.
Or we could do other things.
Luck?
Uriel
I'm quite
is
good at
just gonna
growing plants.
Uriel's just gonna unsheath the gun, not fire it, but just like.
Oh, are we doing that? I'll cast Shillelagh and turn my arm into a club. See?
All the people around you just sort of start to
don't
move
worry,
away a little bit.
I won't hurt you.
Now there's a little kind of ring where no one's there. You see just across the room a couple of people sort of prick up their eyes and maybe just start to look at you. What people that maybe look a bit like guards. The figure looks at you specifically, Uriel, and then over to you, Infinity. I see. Little bag of tricks you got there, eh?
We can do
Who
other
sent
stuff.
you?
The broker.
The broker. Well, put those away before you cause more of a scene. Slowly the people...
He's not sure.
They diffuse back towards you, surrounding you again, and there's a kind of like, now it's more of a cloak of noise. So even though these people are near you, what you're saying is almost less audible above the din. We are looking for guards. You may know who I am. I work for Madame Lebrun.
Yes.
We happen to have a valuable item that we must transport. What I would be looking for is a team of mercenaries willing to protect that item. 3,000 gold. Straight pay.
That's a lot of gold. That's
exactly the amount we need.
That's the amount we need. I was going to
Yeah.
check. What is the amount
Exactly
we need?
that.
Is it that?
Oh, that. Yes. Where from and to?
You would be required to be at the Lebrun compound in Newtown the night before the coming festival. Night of 7th day. When you have the signal to leave, you will protect the package on its way to the Undertow drop-off. I don't think I'm raising any eyebrows when I tell you that it is the Undertow who will be taking command of the package.
That kind of makes sense, given that the broker sent us.
Perhaps you're even on the same vessel, huh?
Oh, the one that obviously wouldn't be leaving the planet.
Indeed not.
Of course. Yes, we probably also won't be on the one that isn't leaving the planet.
Very well. So,
Will there be what kind of transport will it be? Like, is it like a little car or like a little cart that is like pulled by a sheep or something? How do you move it?
well, that it's pretty funny. you know. But the less I know about how the Undertow do their business, the better.
Oh.
And I
No, I mean,
suggest you like
do we
the
have
same
to-
line.
Do we have to? No, I just meant you said we had to protect it. Like, are we protecting the way it is being transported, or are we also doing the transporting? Like, do we have to pick it up and carry it, or is it like,
Is it small or
there's a
big?
bus? You know, protect.
My men and I will transport it. We are the core group.
All right. Okay.
You will simply provide extra
Oh,
muscle.
will you be there too?
Great.
I will not be allowing this package out of my sight.
What is it?
Surprised that you would ask.
Oh, it sounds interesting. I would like to know more.
Is it a secret? I feel like it's maybe
If it's a secret,
thing.
it's
I
fine.
think it's a secret.
If
that
it's a
is-
secret that we need to respect, there's things in
Yeah.
organisations like this you don't ask questions.
I like finding out things.
Well,
Is it a secret, or are you going to tell us now?
Sorry, I'm a robot, so
make a persuasion check.
Oh no, it's terrible. Don't tell us what it is. It's a terrible plan. Sorry, right. 22. Really persuasive. Look at him with my cute little drunk face. Oh no, I'm drunk. I've got to roll again. One sec.
Get higher this time. Get it higher.
16.
He looks at you, and you can see that the sides of his eyes just soften a little. I'm afraid not.
oh,
Let's
It's
hope.
it's a shame.
Okay, that's cool. We're cool with that.
Just trying to increase my data banks, you know, that kind of thing.
Very well, as you say.
Could
So-
you tell me a secret or a fact that I might not know?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be secret. He's not going to tell you if it's a secret, otherwise that would be a rubbish secret.
Oh, yeah, I guess
Tell
it wouldn't be a
someone when
secret
they
anymore.
So wait, we're picking up and joining you in Newtown the night before the festival. Is it where more
From
specifically?
the LeBron compound.
LeBron compound.
LeBron
and-
compound.
Yeah, and then we will meet
And
Obadiah
do you
there.
know when the ship won't leave the planet?
We are not sure of the Undertow's schedule.
We wanted to go
yes.
to the festival.
Well,
Festival.
I'm afraid that will not be an option. You will go through the festival, but we must be with the package from the night beforehand, waiting for our time.
Oh, so it won't. Oh, okay. Oh well.
Okay, and is there any particular things we should watch out for when we're guarding it and guarding you?
Yes.
Like, for example, giant birds that come from the sky and try to steal it.
Wolves, for example.
Or wolves. Birds or wolves. Because if it was birds, we might, get a collection
Or-
of stones to throw. And if it was wolves, we might...
Tooth fairies.
You ever been attacked by a hologram?
Have we?
You know what?
Little...
Oh yes, we have. Yes, or small holograms.
What could be the risks? Because we could prepare.
I've never been attacked by a small hologram. But
Big
if it's
hologram?
anything like the holograms I have been attacked by, I would hope not.
Gosh, okay.
Truth be told, I would not imagine that many problems would arise with this package,
Okay.
but it pays to be secure.
Okay,
Indeed,
great.
that makes sense.
I'm
We'll
sure
get
this
some
will go
stones
just
anyway,
swimmingly.
just in case a bird comes,
Well, that sounds very easy, and thank you.
Thank you so much. That is so nice of you to give us a job.
Just circling back, you guys did ask if he wanted to tell you something, anything. Is that
I did.
something you still want to do?
Yes, I would like to do that.
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
15.
15.
I didn't quite well.
You see him turn to look over at you, and I think it's the first time that you see his entire frame. He almost blocks out some of the light, and he's tall, very heavy set, but he has a slight stoop. And you can also see that when he moves, there's a stiffness to his body. You are what? Android kind.
Yes.
I've fought alongside you, brave warriors.
Oh.
I'll tell you a fact. The last android I saw, I killed with my own 2 hands. It was a mercy.
Why? What was wrong with it?
They had some sort of virus, some sort of infection. I don't understand what it is with you lot, but when it took hold of its brain, it was screaming for me to pull out its hard drive and end it. But I don't want to bring it down, you know. We come out here, we come for a good night, huh?
Yes.
Henry, you also said you fought holograms. Where was that?
I tell you what, fighting an hologram, my friend, that is a tricky business. But when you're out there beyond the final posts, when you're in the great dark, you fight whatever turns up. Barely none of us, I won't go into it. Bangs his hand on the table. That's enough.
Sorry, when and where was this android that you killed? The Mercy killing?
My friend. That was not long before the end. The final purging of the outer planets.
Do we know anything about that? I'm assuming Infinity wouldn't. But...
Roll a... So, Infinity, you can roll it. Anyone who wants to can roll a history check on that one.
I don't feel like Infinity would know,
so
but...
This is going to be a disadvantage, isn't it?
oh god, it's good. I got a 22.
Oh, 14.
Oh god. Not very much for me, I don't think.
Infinity... So this is different for you. You have been asleep. You did not live through this thing, the purging he's talking about. However, when you were in the network, you pick up little bits and bobs, you pick up bits of thoughts.
Software update.
And you get some pieces of information about it. You know that the purging refers to an armada-driven program. And you know that the outer planets are beyond even here, beyond Braxigantu. And when he says the Great Darkness, what he's talking about is a piece of space past the outer planet, so beyond the edge of the Alliance, where there is actually a very low concentration of large planetary matter. Sometimes there's bits of nebula in there, but really it's a difficult and very dangerous hostile environment. Few stars.
Way outside of this solar system.
Yeah. Uriel, you have a different perspective. Even though you rolled less, you have been around, and you work in an armada. You come from an armada-built space. You know that the purging is something, is a campaign that happened about between 20 and 30 years ago. It was extended, so it lasted at least 5 years. And you know that the point of it was to scour any hostile alien life from the rim around Alliance territory.
So, I'm sorry to keep asking questions. Did you know anything about the virus that took your friend?
Let this be the last one, for I'm here to enjoy myself too.
Yes, I'm sorry. Then you can have your drink.
This virus, it was something that affected your kind. I knew nothing about it. I can't tell you any more, apart from I saw the pain that it caused.
The pain?
It had some sort of effect. There seemed to be physical pain, but behind the eyes, a loss, like an erasure of memory of information. I could not be sure. And that is all I have for you, my dear.
Yes, thank you.
They turn back towards the bar, motion to the barman.
Right, thanks for that. We will be there on time. Have a lovely evening.
See that you are. So before 12, the night before 7th day. So night of the 6th day.
And just what day is it today?
Today, interesting you would ask, but
I think we do know. It's just...
Hey, Weaver!
we are night of 4th day.
Oh, I've got some time. Thank you, Obadiah, and
thank you. Lovely to meet you. Thank you for the job. Thank you. Bye.
I'm sorry about your friend.
I wanted to ask him about the ship that he went out on to the Outer Rim, but...
Luriel, I probably know a lot more.
But he probably went on... He might have gone from Martin's Spoon.
If you want to go and ask him a question.
I don't want to piss him off.
Why don't we just make other friends in the bar? I'm sure they'll have interesting stories.
Are you in love with Zachariah?
No, I'm not. I thought I was just being nice and having a nice conversation.
I just thought...
Well, no, I just thought he was kind of nice, and I was like, wow, he's cool.
Oh, no.
You're doing the flirting, and I'm like, I didn't mean to be doing that. I don't want people to
think it's a bad thing.
Well, what if he thinks I'm trying to be like, I want to be married to you now forever. And
do you want to be married to him now forever?
No, I don't even know him. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry if I said that accidentally by being nice.
If I upset you.
The tensile strength of those ropes is probably much better if they were synthetic. Like, that looks like a natural thing that they're all hanging from up there. Just very inefficient use of space.
As Ural is saying this, you feel waves of emotion. Starting with what Infinity said to you, and you finding it quite difficult to control them.
Also, my head hurts, and it's been hurting for like a long time now. This day has lasted 3 episodes. Right? This is the day that we got picked up by the family on the boat.
Oh
my!
It's the day after the satellites. That was this morning.
Yeah.
The satellites then at 2
You
a.m.
are tired. You are all very tired, not exhausted.
We were on a boat all day, and then got here and have been to 2 bars. And all we've done is drink,
right.
and we haven't been away from other people all day, and this is causing issues. Well, sorry, Ali, I interrupted you.
Yes, and your head is hurting, and
I just wanted to emphasize.
You are also something difficult is happening to you now. Whereas you're hearing all of the voices of the people around you, it's almost like you're getting a double layer effect, as though there's another voice in harmony with each of those voices, but saying different things. Personal things, intense things. And you're starting to get that, and it's confusing.
I have to be alone in a room right now.
Oh, well, do you want to go to the room without us?
Well, we've kind of met our objective here. Like, otherwise, we're just going to talk to people.
Oh, well, we were going to watch Zachariah.
Were we?
What does that mean? I didn't say I want to watch him.
We said we did. He was going to play the trumpet.
Okay, but can I just have a break first and then play the trumpet?
Of course. Sorry, do you want us to leave you alone?
No, you don't know. I have to be alone. I have to do something.
Okay, without us or with us?
It doesn't matter because you already.
Oh, okay.
Are
you going to talk to your friends?
Not exactly.
The cloud.
I don't know. I have to go right now.
Okay, let's go. We'll all go.
As you're having this conversation, you see Zachariah lift up the surface of the bar.
Zachariah!
And carrying with him in one hand, just sort of cradled this silver trumpet. And suddenly the kind of confidence which he showed, that sort of slickness behind the bar, seems to have melted away a little bit, and you can see for a second he's kind of nervous.
Zachariah?
Yeah?
Good luck, and I'll cast guidance on him.
Ah.
Sort of takes an in breath. Yes.
I'm looking forward to it.
Why? Thank you. I'm so glad y'all be here to watch me. That means a lot to me.
Are those robots okay up there, do you think?
Oh, they're fine.
Okay.
Okay, I better watch Zachariah.
I would... Yes.
We said we would watch Zachariah. We'll watch Zachariah.
Are we? I thought we were going.
Oh, I think...
Zachariah is playing! And Zachariah said we had to...
I want to watch.
Where is Uriel going? What is happening?
Uriel seems to be hiding behind a pillar. Uriel, come out from behind the pillar.
Yeah?
Uriel! Zachariah just said that he was really happy that we were watching him, and then if we leave...
You just said you were going to go.
No, we can go.
Then he'll
I'll
think
stay.
you just left just when I was starting to play the trumpet, and
I
he'll
think
think that's why we left.
We just met him. He's not mission critical. Why are we stressing about this?
I would like to watch it.
Oh,
Oh, Uriel! Okay,
You two can go. I don't mind.
No, that is not bad.
I want to keep an eye on these androids anyway.
oh yeah, there were androids. Shit.
Well, they're automatons.
Yes.
When does an automaton
Batesmith
become an
said.
android?
Well,
I do not know the difference between an automaton, an android, and a robot.
Well,
so-
an android is specifically a humanoid-shaped robot. I believe.
Robot. And a
robot is a
robot
general
has to
mechanical
be-
item that performs
yeah, anything
labor.
can be a robot, but not every. Is
Robot
every
is-
android a robot, but not every robot is an
Yes.
android? Yeah.
Like Data
But-
is an example of an android.
Yeah.
Usually, a robot sort of acts independently of humans, whereas I'm not sure an automaton feels like is.
No, I think automatons still because they're automatons.
Automatons are also, I think, with the typically they're mechanical rather than digital, right? Like you get your mechanical
Yes.
I would
Turks, for
think.
an example of an automaton.
Yes,
I think
that-
that's the most broad category.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's actually. Anyway.
Anyway.
Infinity doesn't know. She just wants to say.
So are we going to the room or not?
I'm not going to.
Right, it's a no from you. 10. I'm getting both the up and the, you're rotating on two axes here. Which one are you going with?
Sorry, podcast. Not yet. I'll just wait a little bit. Okay, I'll just wait a little bit for Zachariah to play.
Right, so we'll watch Zachariah play his trumpet, and then we'll go to the room, and then we can actually sleep. Fine. Secondary objectives, sure, whatever.
You three move your way to the balcony, and you look down onto the dance floor, and what you see is another band take to the stage. Some of the people stay on, like the drummer still there. The drummer, who's kind of you can see a mechanically enhanced cyborg with the ability to drum incredibly quickly and incredible rhythmic time, whilst also the human parts necessary to go wah when he's doing it.
Oh, it's like a cool General Grievous.
So cool.
In the front line, you see various what look like gene-enhanced, gene-modified characters. Some of them have 7 or 8 fingers, and they're playing wind
cool.
instruments that have far more keys, and keys in sort of strange places. And as you're hearing it, you're hearing the kind of modification of different noises, and indeed some instruments appear to be able to play in harmony with themselves. All of these, and then just a massive double bass, played by like an 8-foot tall woman who is strong and poised and holding this. It's just huge. There's nothing special about it. It's just massive.
No treble.
This is great.
Hanging from the ceiling, all these strange kind of machines, these sort of weird looking. When I say automatons, they're not necessarily human shaped. Some of them are shaped like different sort of like. There's a few spider looking things in there holding various bits of material, some sort of pluck bits of rope, bits of various lights sort of lighting them up in different angles, and some of them seem to collect the noise made by the band and reprocess it and then send it out through different layers of the bar, as though different parts of the bar are hearing very different kinds of melodies from the band.
Very cool.
So no, I just had a thought, like, you know how piezoelectricity is like the ability to convert pressure into electricity and energy. Like,
Sure.
is there some form of life form that could collect music and funnel it in and use that to force a crystal and use that to generate energy?
A crystal. I'm gonna build myself a crystal through music. What will this crystal look like?
No. As in, it's a life form that drinks in sound.
Sound.
And that's how it generates. It's like its version of photosynthesis, as it goes into really
That's
loud
cool.
environments.
It must be.
What would you like? Wind? Like, I'm trying to think of natural things that would make enough sound. Wind, rain.
Pressure will be tectonic pressure, right? Would be able to.
Yeah, by geothermal
generate
vents.
Huge quantities of pressure.
Are they very loud?
Well, I mean, I imagine they are. It's just a
I
constant
wonder if there's something
eruption.
with tentacles
more
which
consistent.
move, and then if you move the tentacles, you're generating energy, maybe.
Oh, yeah, like a big sea anemone that's like a tidal generator kind of thing.
Sounds dope.
That's fun.
Anyway, as
Sorry,
you're
yeah,
ruminating on this,
yeah.
you see Zachariah come up, and he's not center stage. He's a little bit off to the right in the trumpet section, but on the front row. And as you hear the band start up, you get your first sound of the trombones. The drummer in the back starts to pick up the tempo. You hear him, yeah. The band starts swaying a little bit. Down on the floor, you can see the audience moving back and forth. Some shouts go, woo! Yeah! I love this one!
More of that, please, Alex. Thank you. That was excellent.
And now the stage starts to rock a little bit as the music and the rhythm starts to pulsate its way up through the hole and into the hole of the horn itself. As this is happening, Tenebris, you're feeling a strange pounding, like a pressure, as suddenly all of the different individual voices, which had before been a kind of cacophony, like a white noise almost, start to synchronize somewhat. And with each beat of the music, it's like a hammer falling on the top of your brain pan, as though it's forcing itself in, and it's becoming more and more pressure, and it's harder and harder to take. And as the song builds to its conclusion, make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Don't explode, Tenebris!
No exploding to
Don't
Nebulous.
explode. It would be bad.
Rolls of what?
Not great. Okay, we're good. 23.
Yeah.
I rolled high.
Get it, girl.
As the pressure, the throbbing almost takes hold of your brain, you start to feel a strange sensation, as though the sensation in your fingers is spreading out over the floor, over the people, but you suck it back, almost as though you were losing your sense of self, but you hold it in. And you all continue to watch the band, the music.
I think actually I am gonna like put my fingers in my ears.
Tenebris, do you not like it?
What?
Don't worry.
Putting your fingers in your ears does alleviate some of the actual music sound, but the thudding pressure, you're still feeling it.
I'm gonna take my fingers out of my ears and I'm gonna just like run away. I'm gonna run to somewhere where there might be rooms. I didn't even know I'm off.
At the back end of so this is a square, there's a bar on your right hand side, on the left is stairs, there's the door you came in, and then on the other side of the door you came in, there is a door which was pointed out to you by Zachariah, marked lodging.
I'm gonna run off the dance floor.
You're also going to do like the mother of all double takes. You know when you're drunk and like you notice something? And it's like...
This isn't the dance floor. The dance floor was beneath you. You were all looking
we're still up.
down.
We're
still looking
looking
down on the
down.
band. Oh, we're not. Okay, in it. Okay.
The mezzanine level.
Yeah.
I love that word. Mezzanine.
Etymology corner!
Where does that come from, Ashley? Yeah.
Oh no.
Alright. As you were, I will just look up the
place
etymology of
where you
mezzanine.
have-
As
That's
Simon, as Uriel scans his databanks, Tenebris, you run towards this door. You're pulling on it. It seems to be locked.
I'm finding like my cards, and I'm like looking for somewhere to hit the card, my key card.
You pushing your way through people. There's some. What you doing there? What are you playing at? Another person. Yeah, I tell you, if you touch me one more time, I'm gonna come at you like a fury, a blazing fury. And these voices are building, this cacophony building, and you're trying to find what to do with this card, and then a powerful hand grabs yours and positions it in the lock. You look behind you, and there you see the silhouette of Obadiah Hogg.
I love
Pushes the door open, and you fall through. You're in a passage. To your left and right, you can see drab furnishings. You see it's mostly made of wood, but there's some metal plating that seems to be holding up the structural elements of it. The light is coming from guttering neon, well, neon can't really gutter, but flickering neon poles along the ceiling. The doors themselves are constructed of some sort of plastic reinforced with a material you're not sure of. They stretch out down this corridor, and you can see that the corridor ends around the square of this building. The rooms have numbers on them, starting at 1 and moving upwards to the right, and to the left it's the odd numbers.
I look at, I try and like focus on the key card to find out the number.
The door slowly closes behind you, and you feel for a second as though you're spared some of the force of that pounding energy. You search for the room. Eventually you find your room, number 17. You burst in, I assume.
Yes, I do.
It's a small room, 2 twin beds. One holograph display looks in pretty bad condition. There's like a little crack going across the glass part of the projector. You can see that there's no window here, but there is a curtain across the blank wall, as if to give the impression of a window. Someone's thought that maybe that would help. You can see a little tiny part walled off. You know how in modern hotels sometimes you get a bathroom which looks basically like it's just a sort of pod that's been placed inside the room? That's what's happened. It's as though the bathrooms themselves are separate and they've just been jammed in. It's tight and it's confined, and you can still hear the thudding of the music very gently through the wall, but it's subsided a little bit.
I'm going to close the door to the room, and like make sure there's no one else in the room. And then I'm going to cast Fairy Fire in the middle of this room. Simon's looking so confused right now. You look like a meerkat, Simon.
Sorry, you're setting fire to the room.
No,
Fairy
I'm casting
fire.
a spell. I'm casting a spell called Fairy Fire, which makes everything glow.
You don't have to target a creature, do you, with that?
20-foot cube.
Got the centerpiece, they're back.
Oh my god! How many insects are in this room? Because
Insects?
Probably quite a lot.
yeah, now that you mention it, the insects would have to make a dex save to avoid.
Roll about a bajillion dice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really regrets putting that anthill in.
What
Fruit
you
checking.
get instead is a moment of calm. And you see illuminated around you a million different motes, specks lining the walls, covering the furnishings. You see them beneath the bed. You can feel, as you look at them, the textures that they're lying on, the rough hewn wood, the slippery plastic. And there's a silence. You take a deep inhale and you get, as well as the scent of mould and unwashed sheets, you also, for a moment, have a scent of the deep fungus caves of home, and you feel calmer.
I think I'm just gonna stay like just standing there in the middle of the room for a little while.
As you do that, we come back to Uriel and Infinity.
Mezzanine comes from the Italian mezzanino, meaning middle.
Mezzanine.
So
that
between
makes
two
sense.
things. And it's interesting. It comes originally from Latin medianus, meaning of the middle. And there's a huge list of terms which are all from that same root, including mediate, something between two things. Mezzo, soprano, midgard, middle.
Midgard?
Like,
Is it the Viking?
yeah,
yeah, because it's
like Thor.
from Proto-Germanic, which I believe there's probably it's probably from Proto-Indo-European, which then influenced Latin as well. But also moiety, which is an English word I've never heard of before, which is an equal half
Moiety is a
of two
chemical word.
Oh, is it?
I think it's a
champagne.
chemistry word.
And meson comes from the same root because it was a particle with a mass between a proton and an electron, which is why it's called a meson.
Such a dumb way of like.
Also-
it's just
also on
between
this
one
list-
and nothing.
Is minge. Which
Any
apparently
explanation for that?
Wait, why is Minge from the same?
I know this is casting doubt on the veracity of the
Yeah.
whole.
apparently
Yeah.
it's uncertain etymology.
In the middle.
In the middle.
It's possibly from Armenian medj, meaning middle, and it's of unknown origin, but that seems to be a hypothesized root.
Medj is a great word.
You medj.
You, Medj.
Massive medj.
So anyway, yes, sorry, that's where
You
mezzanine
relay all
comes
this
from.
information to Infinity as
that's
around
very
you the pulsating beat and the floors of the mezzanine start to rattle and shake.
Minge.
I don't know what that is.
I don't think Uriel does either.
Seems unlikely. I mean, you could roll a history check if you want to see.
No,
if it's
no,
somewhere.
no.
It'll be a high DC. Uriel's not.
He's not au fait. Anyway, sorry. Derailed.
As you look down into the sea of people, you see Zachariah playing his trumpet, stepping forward. What's your natural passive perception, Infinity?
16.
You just, for a second, you see his eye flick upwards towards where you're standing, and then back to playing.
Oh wait.
Right, so are we done listening? Can we go back to the room now? You know, Tenebris is
Once
gone.
he's finished. Oh. Maybe she's gone backstage to see him. Or maybe she went back to the room. She probably went back to the room. We've only got one key, haven't we?
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. We may
So
be
we
locked
can't.
out.
Yes, okay. Well, she knows we're here. I'm enjoying the music. I've never really sat and listened to music before, stood and listened to music before.
How long would you like to absorb this data?
Well, I just don't think there's much else we can do right now.
Well, I think if we went to the room, we could probably, knock on the port,
The door.
on the door, and
Yes.
we should probably let us in.
Yeah, well, let's wait for this song to be finished.
Fig's
Do you
on
not
a
like
loop.
music?
The song gradually comes to an end, and you hear, "Yeah, woo! That's been passed down through the generation." Particularly well.
Just making a loud noise.
Loud
see-
noises!
Exposition heckler about the
One
song's
sailor,
history.
you see one sailor twirling some boxer shorts above their head. They throw
Oh.
them on stage.
Uriel,
They're
do you have
bundled by
anything?
their
Have they got
friends.
little tiny anchors on?
Oh,
Make a
and
perception
with love
check.
hearts round the anchors.
Hang on.
Anyone can't afford to
Nat
lose
20!
their-
I see the anchors!
As the spinning boxer shorts pass underneath the main light, it's almost as though time slows down, Uriel, and you see in perfect, you have a perfect image of a fish. Well, lots of little fishes holding a heart in its mouth, just breaking the surface.
Oh, I have a little gift for you. Oh,
That's our first merch, everyone.
little catfish with a little heart in its mouth. Oh, please take my love.
And then the pants suddenly speed up back to normal speed and, and land on the stage, and everybody.
Oh.
Right.
Okay. We can go now. I'll just lean over and be like, "Very good, Zachariah. I remember your name."
Oh, that's awkward.
You can't quite tell us. They're just about to gear up to the next one, but you think maybe he casted a look your way.
I don't know if an Infinity knows what thumbs ups are, but there you go. Yay!
Yeah, the angle is. She's yet to work out that the angle is important. She's like, yeah.
She wouldn't do. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, we'll try and get back to the room.
I think there was a door that Zachariah told
This
us
way?
about. I
Okay,
think it was
yes.
this way.
Sure. We don't know what number room we are though, because it was on the key.
Right, we'll just get to the rooms and we'll go
We'll just
through
knock on all
methodically.
of the
We'll
doors.
start
That
at
makes
index
sense.
0 and we'll just check.
I like
cool.
it. Okay. I could start at a higher number and you could start at a lower
Yeah,
number.
it's more
and we could
efficient.
meet in
Right,
the
so
middle.
you
Yes.
start at N max and I'll start at 0.
Yes. Sounds good.
You make your way over to the door Zachariah pointed out. You try and open it. It's locked.
Oh. Knock.
Tenebris, you in there?
Nebris!
You knock. Nothing much happens.
Nebris!
You keep at it for a little while, and then behind you, a portly, older woman comes up towards the door, pushes you a little bit. She's a little bit shorter than you. She's got greying hair and quite a thin face, sort of strangely. And she kind of pushes you out of the way and says, I'm sorry. I gotta get to my room if you don't mind.
Oh, yes. No, that's fine.
Oh, please do.
Puts a key card. Oh, thank you. Puts the key card in the door, turns it opens, walks through.
Going
She's still
straight
carrying
behind
her
her.
drink.
No
It flops
subtlety.
a little bit on the floor. You follow her straight in. She doesn't seem to notice. Or
I'll just.
care.
Right, okay, so I'll look at the door numbers. Can we see what. Do they go around a corner?
You can see. So you see the corridor as Tenebris saw, shabby, poorly lit. To your left are the odd numbers, and to your right are the even numbers.
Can we see the maximum number?
Oh, well, let's just start on either side. And just one do odd, one do even.
Right,
There are two corners on either side, so you can't see how far it goes.
Right, I'll do N, you do N plus 1.
Okay, great. I'll go to the even side and just start knocking on doors. Tenebris!
Knock. Tenebris!
Knock. Tenebris!
Infinity. Well, we'll start with you. You knock on 2, nothing. You knock on 4, you hear.
Oh, you didn't tell
away!
Yep, okay, sorry. Thank you. Number 6.
You knock on 6, you keep knocking. At 10, you knock on the door, and it opens quite quickly. With an older-looking figure. They are wearing what looks like scuba gear, so sort of tightly fitted clothes. They have a mask on their forehead, and you can see that in one hand they're holding some flippers, and they go take out the breather.
Tenebris? No, you're not Tenebris, are you? Sorry.
The figure turns around, looks behind them, looks back at you.
Have you seen Tenebris?
I'm afraid I haven't. If you'll excuse me, I'm actually in the middle of something.
Oh, yes, no, of course. I would like to try and look in the room before.
Well, the door is
wouldn't
closing,
feel-
but roll a perception check.
Did he have...
Not
Was
going
he
yet.
tenting this entire time?
Oh, it's not great. 12.
You look inside. You get the impression that there's something going on with water, but you're not 100% sure what it is. And
Have
then
fun!
the door closes. You keep moving around. Uriel, you...
Start at 0.
It starts at 1.
Oh no! You assumed N minimum was 0.
Yeah.
Because I did N plus 1 and started
Yeah, it was
at 2.
just like, oh, this is perturbing me. What is it, 1?
Maybe the first door was 0. Uriel,
just-
we've already gone through
The
that.
lobby must have been room 0, yes.
It's actually, you're a little bit unsteady on your feet already, and actually this idea that every time you see one of these odd numbers and you're thinking it's n plus, one of these even No, one of these odd numbers, and you're thinking that it's n. But then having to recalculate that n isn't 0, it's 1. It's making you feel a bit queasy.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to door 5, you're feeling actively sick. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
This makes perfect sense. It's for me in real life as well.
I love this.
That's a strong 7.
Oh, just you feel a wave of nausea overtake you, and as the door opens, you feel the desire to vomit.
It's like a scene from Little Britain.
Oh no, I hate that. They're just awful.
There's actually a beautifully dressed gentleman, maybe late 40s. You can see behind them. Well, you can't see behind them, no, because you're just vomiting on the floor, so you don't see anything. But they're very well dressed. They've got lovely shoes, spats, in fact, with a white, and
Battered spats. Hey.
and actually, as you vomit, they just try and jump out of the way. Let me just. They roll a 6, so they fail, and their shoes. What on earth are you doing?
I'm looking for my friend Snapper. She's staying here. Yes.
Get out of here! You tramp!
Sorry. Ugh.
The door slams in your face. You keep moving around. Eventually, you reach.
Looks at the next number.
Thank God.
I get just run out of vomit by 17.
No.
Yes, you're dry heaving your way to 17.
Oh, stop. Gross.
Just like looks at 17.
Oh, Simon.
I'm
not looking. Make me feel sick.
You are at this moment
sweating
in a ball of what just happened? In a ball of calm.
I'm sorry. We've been through this once before.
It was much clearer when Ali said it.
Of calm, and you
We'll call it now. Calm emotion.
He was covered in calm.
God damn it!
Sequel TikTok, anyone?
Can't force it.
Sorry.
And you are at last attaining a level of control, it feels like, over your feelings when you hear "Tok, tok, 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 tok."
Stop doing that.
I'd already cast it twice, and it's faded by now because it only lasts a minute at a time. But I'm feeling better, much better.
Feeling better about?
Leprous.
I'm feeling. Oh right, yeah. Hi. I run to the
Is
door.
that you?
I open the door.
Oh.
You see Uriel in front of you. His front is coated with stains. Are you still holding your beer glass?
Presumably.
The beer glass is almost empty. There's just a bit of swill left in there. He's panting.
Uriel, oh my God, what happened?
They did not start their indexing at 0.
Oh
Oh, right, okay. Infinity, I found her.
Yes. Oh, good.
She's in room 16.
Okay. No, she can't be.
It should be. Just come over.
Right. Hello,
no!
Snapper.
Gosh,
Hi.
do you want? There is like a little bathroom here. Do you need to lie down,
I
Uriel?
think I need to clean myself.
You stink.
I'm just gonna go in and ablute myself.
It's pretty difficult. The shower's very small, but you make a fair fist of it. Your robes, though, are pretty badly stained.
Oh, God.
What's the belt?
You come in to see this. Tenebris, has your final fairy fire faded?
Yeah. This has been longer than 2 minutes of them listening to the end of the song and then trying to get
knocking on
through a
all the
door
doors.
and then knocking on all the doors. So I only cast it twice. So it's gone.
So, here we are. In the room, silent, with the door closed, or at least as close to silent as you can get in this place.
Oh no. Is Zachariah still playing the trumpet?
Well, he was when we left, but it took us quite a while to find you.
He was doing so on the beat. It was adequate.
He did very well. I enjoyed it a lot. It was nice to listen to music.
Maybe if I go back now, he won't notice that I left.
Oh, maybe.
I mean...
Do you want to go back?
I don't want him to know that I left.
Well, you should go see him.
But I also don't want him to think I want to marry him just because I want to hear him play the music.
I don't... Snobrus, I'm not very good at emotions yet, so...
But if you thought that, maybe he thought that too.
But I'm sorry, I was just interested.
It's okay to be interested. It's just like, it's a bit weird when like other people, and then you don't know, and then other people
You shouldn't
are like,
say
hey,
it out
you're doing
loud.
a thing, and then you're like, I'm not doing a thing, and then I'm like, am I doing a thing without knowing? And doing things without knowing it is like scary, right?
I agree.
What if you're doing things and you don't even know them? Oh no, I didn't mean like that thing, because that wasn't you.
Right.
Other things.
Oh, Uriel, you look dreadful.
I think we've hit our success condition tonight.
Actually,
Can we just go to bed? I feel like I just need to. I need to lie
Snobrus
down.
wants to go back and see Zachariah.
Oh,
I've just realized I've kind of remembered something I can do. I might be able to make you both feel better.
Really?
Yes.
Like from the alcohol? Because like this alcohol, like I'm realizing now that I actually drank like more alcohol than maybe I wanted to have drunk. And at the time it was great. And now that my headache's gone, now it's not so great.
Well, I think so. If the Fate Weaver will allow it. It doesn't specifically mention drunk, but I have lesser restoration. So you can touch creature and end either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
This is a condition, so you
Right.
can absolutely do that.
I will put my hand on Snobrus and be like, here. And, oh God, how? I don't know. We'll come to that at a later date. But I think
Imagine
she
if
does
this worked in real
something
life. You were just by the
that-
edge of the exit of a club, high-fiving people, and just making
You're going to
them
be
all
fine.
not drunk
You're going to be
anymore.
okay. You're going to be great.
How many people are going to just punch you after you've done that? You're like, look, I spent 50 quid getting this drunk.
Yeah. Some form of, like, probably either, like, chemical spray or something, just that kind of, like, goes in and like negates the toxins or something. Or,
that's a D&D beef,
yeah,
isn't it? A sobriety
sure,
spray.
at some point,
could you do
yeah.
it? Like naloxone, but that's with heroin.
Oh, I don't know what that. Oh, right. Okay, I don't know. But yeah, it's something like that. Basically, we'll come to it in a D&D brief coming to you sometime. And then I'll do the same to Uriel if he'll let me. Here.
Oh.
Here.
Wow. How did you? Oh, wow.
That's clever.
Yes.
I just
quite good,
suddenly
isn't it?
feel really tired.
Yeah, like I suddenly feel like I need to go to bed and like make good choices and not do silly things.
I just
Why
drink
would
some
that be a
water.
silly thing going back? I don't
It's
understand.
very late in the night and like
But you liked him.
there are all these people and noises. Yeah, but I like you. I like lots of people.
Oh, no, not.
I'm not flirting with you,
But-
Infinity. Why
No,
would
but
you
why are you
think
flirting
that?
with Zachariah? I don't
I'm
understand.
not. I'm not. I'm trying to tell you that
I
I'm
don't
not.
understand flirting or love or any of that. So I'm trying to work it out.
Well, me neither, because I don't know things that everything that other people might know, and they
You might
take
have felt
things
it before.
like I'm not really. I don't think I love people like like my parents and
What does that feel like?
oh, I don't know. I guess I never thought of someone not knowing, so to have to explain it. It's like when you're sad and you just like they are the person that you want to be there out of all the people in the world. And then sometimes you're like, you look at them and you're like, oh my God, and you just get like an urge to just like hug them so tight. And then sometimes you are speaking to them and something that they do or say makes you think like how happy you are that they are here and how sad you would be if they were not here and how lucky you are to have them in your life.
Oh. I think maybe I do understand it.
Do you feel that?
Maybe. Yes.
It's good, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Me too.
Are you okay now, Uriel? Because you're still a bit...
You should be better now. You should feel good. Quite good.
I don't feel drunk anymore. I just feel very tired. It's just been a very long day.
It has been quite a long day.
Getting drunk is not all that it's cracked up to be.
I don't think I did.
Oh. I wouldn't worry about it. That sometimes people make it sound like it's really cool and naughty. And then, we're going to sneak off and get drunk and not invite you. But actually it's like, oh, that's a bit rubbish.
Maybe I can't.
Stay sober, kids. This has been a PSA
Cheers
from
to
the RPGeeks. Yeah. All the cool kids drink water. And I must be very cool
my
because
water
I've drunk all
bottle.
of mine.
Good water you've got there, Emily Bates, in that brown glass bottle. Yes.
She's undercover. An undercover sober person. How do you do, fellow drinkers?
The three of you.
Anyone scored some neat beers recently?
Hey, here's an interesting idea. The three of you start to bed down.
Are you sure, Tenebris?
Am I sure? I want to go to... Yeah.
You just seemed happier earlier.
Yeah, but then... Actually, yeah, being drunk is weird. Okay, it's very confusing.
Oh, it's because you were drunk.
Partly, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
maybe you could
being
see him
drunk is
tomorrow.
also weird. I hope so. I think maybe I'll say like, "Oh my gosh, your music was so nice," and then I'll see if he says, "But you ran away with your fingers in your ears," or whether he says, "Oh great, I'm so glad you listened to it. I couldn't see anything because I was busy playing."
He did look up at us at one point.
But you are also very small, so you could be easy to miss you.
Okay. I'll play it cool and see what he says. And I can just say I was ill from drinking too much alcohol and they threw up everywhere, all over myself.
That makes sense. Uriel did do that.
That would be great. Okay, I'm going to say that.
Okay.
Why do we care about this? I must have missed this part.
I don't want Zachariah to be sad.
Why?
We like Zachariah.
She's very nice.
Okay.
Uriel, have you ever been in love?
Not in a romantic sense, no.
But Tenebris just described it. It didn't sound like it had to be romantic.
I mean, I felt like an affinity and like a familial sense with the Brotherhood, and with people that I work with, and I love the ship. That's the most important thing of all. Is when you're working on a ship that you love the ship.
You want to hug the ship.
Well, it's just one of these things. It's like, do I want to like hug the ship, or do I want to be the ship? Like it's a complicated kind of a.
I do kind of understand that because sometimes I was a ship, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is why it's the same thing with we should go to bed. I'm very very tired.
Okay.
The three of you.
Good night.
Oh no, not again.
Are any of you taking a watch, or are you just?
Oh shit! I've gone.
No.
Sod it. We're in a hotel. We don't need to.
Yeah.
Infinity, you align yourself between the two beds and plank.
Yeah. Straight. We'll say forwards probably.
Clank, 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 clank.
Clink, clink, clink.
Tenebris and Uriel, you try and make yourself comfortable in these beds. They are not great beds. They're saggy. They don't smell great, but there is a exhaustion and an ache to both of you that no bed can stand in the way of, and you both pass out. And just as you're on the edge of unconscious, you all feel a moment of deep vibration. As the legs of the beds just vibrate ever so slightly on the floor, you hear the very low scrape of metal deep beneath you moving. And Infinity 6. Oh well, you're off. So, and what's the passive perception of Tenebris and Uriel?
11 for Uriel.
Less than Infinity.
Less than, and that's it. That's the last thing you all sense. I've got a strange question.
Oh, 12 actually. Anyway.
Items. Who has been carrying the items? Who is
I have
carrying
some
what
of
items?
them. Hang on.
I don't think I have either of the slates.
I can only remember things when I have props for them, and I have a necklace and a friendship bracelet.
You do. I have the potion with the the bottle with the thing with the membrane in it. I didn't take the slates that were the phone slates. Someone else has those.
Maybe I.
Oh, I have the artifact as well.
Maybe I have the slates.
And I think I have the bag as well.
Oh, the bag holding shit.
But we have not looked at it yet. We can look at that tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I do have the artifact because we discussed this last time and everyone was like, what have you done with it? And I said, I'd take it. So yeah, I have the artifact.
Where did you put it?
How big is it? What, this big?
It's about as big as this metal water bottle.
Oh, that's huge.
For podcast people.
He just held up a large water bottle about the
large
same
bottle.
size as the
Quite
slate.
big. Yeah.
Correct.
It's the artifact.
It's the artifact, not the
sorry.
It was a water bottle the size of a water bottle.
And
A large
And
boulder the
that's
size of a small boulder.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I think
Where
that's
have
all
I
I've
put
got.
it? I've got some bags around my waist, like I've got pouches on my belt.
So is it on you?
Well, I'm not going to sleep with it, but it'll be either in it'll probably be in like a shoulder bag because I can't just carry everything around my waist. So yeah.
Yeah.
Shoulder
So
bag.
you've dumped it on
Satchel.
the floor in a shoulder bag.
Yeah. This is probably fine.
I'm sure that's totally normal.
Everything seems fine when the DM asks you where you've put the important MacGuffin.
On the floor.
Yeah,
Is it
and
on
you say
anything
the floor.
flammable? Just asking.
Right next to Infinity's head.
Just a window.
It's fine. Okay.
You feel sleep take you. Infinity, you are cast back into the same dream, the same vision of the jungle as before. As it reaches the same powerful, horrifying conclusion before you go black again and lose everything. Tenebris, the deep repose of sleep comes, but it's not calm. There are emotions under the surface rippling. Uriel, as the ones and zeros flow into the bedrock of your consciousness, you feel something. So this isn't a dream. You're not standing in like the construct in the Matrix or anything. But you're not awake. You feel like you can do something in this state. You see blackness, you feel blackness all around you. You know that it's almost like water rippling around your toes, but it's ones and zeros in this sort of suspended state. And something feels different. Roll a perception check. Or, in fact, what do you want to do?
In this sort of lucid dream state.
Yes, but you're not in an environment.
It's like the holodeck almost.
but it's not like the construct in the Matrix or the holodeck or like that. There's no sort of input. You're not like in a white space. All you can feel is this thing which sort of feels like the water, like rippling water, which is these ones and zeros around your feet. As it is, with your mind currently as it is, not trying to interact with it, this is what you have.
Yeah. I feel like Uriel is, that's like, it's like a sea of electrons almost, and you want to construct something out of that and sort of wreathe himself in that data and sort of let that flow over him like a fluid. It'll seep into his skin and then simulate the receptors for that data, and there's input points that flow into him, and there's a super highway of information that then starts to form and coalesce and detach himself from that environment and just rely on those pinpricks of entry points of data into his system and hang there in that semi-isolated state.
Amazing. Roll a perception check with advantage.
That is a not very good, and that's also a not very good. That is an 8.
As you feel this information with these newly constructed, imagined, half-imagined sensors that you feel like you have embodied in this state, the one thing you know is that this information has another element to it, something foreign, something maybe even alien, to you at least. But that's all you know. And with that, we will leave it for tonight.
Plot! 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 Everybody! Yeah!
Can we have some more upbeat music?
Happy music, happy music.
That music at the end made me want to pee. Like
Music for
Because
pets.
we've been streaming for a while.
sort of fluid music. Oh my god!
So
Plots all over the place.
Yeah, cool bar as
Exposition
well.
all over the place. Very, very cool descriptions of all sorts of things this episode, and I believe it is actually Ali's turn to do the DnDebrief.
It is indeed
Next
exciting
week.
times.
And I feel like there are lots of things about your world that I was wondering whether you'd be willing to expand upon, but I don't know if they would
At this
Like
point,
I'd be up for that.
At this point,
Yeah, I mean,
we
we
could
gotta get
honestly
into it at
do.
some point, right?
We could honestly do just an audience Q&A with Ali. They ask questions about the world, and you could
They
expand on some
all
of the
come
stuff.
from us.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the audience would also get a chance.
Well,
it might. I just worry that might be difficult with spoilers. Like, I wouldn't want to get. into
Yeah,
discussion
I'd
with
rather
them
let Ali
we're not
lead
allowed
it.
to say.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah.
that's disappointing.
yeah. That seems
Yeah,
like
we could do
a
that at some
one-off
point.
special. We could do one of our specials as that,
We
maybe,
could,
if we
could
wanted
do
to.
something like that.
That could be a
Definitely
different.
do a Q&A with
Yeah.
everyone. but
What
yeah.
is some stuff that we've run across then that we haven't addressed?
I mean, it doesn't have to be this week, right? We can just take it from.
Sure.
We could take
Yeah.
it from whenever.
Yeah,
really.
previous. We've got previous ones that we haven't done. If you wanted to do this week, I'd be happy for you to take the sobriety spray, seeing as you already had that
I don't
comparison.
know. I feel like I do like drugs loads, so
but that's good because
Someone clip
you're
that.
good at explaining them, though. So
Good at drugs.
yeah,
good at drugs.
you're good at it.
Drugs.
Good at- I am bad at the other stuff as well. So.
Like if you're interested in it, go ahead.
Well,
I think
I mean, yeah, what would really interest me, and I think I'm setting myself up for a fall here, but the music stuff, like
Yes.
obviously bard
write
shit,
that down,
you know,
yeah.
like is there a way of making music more than it is, you know? Like,
yeah,
obviously,
that's
loud, but,
definitely
like,
there's definitely stuff in that.
Yeah.
I just have no
Yeah, do
idea,
that.
but
That
I
sounds
think that
cool.
would be super cool.
There's definitely some interesting stuff on like how music can affect like your thought processes and things. So I think
And even I just thought the way technological advances affect human music. given that.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Yeah.
The theremin.
I
We
I was
were
literally about to
talking
say the
that a while
theremin.
ago.
Yeah.
I mean, like the
Like
saxophone
cyborg
is a
drumming.
relatively recent instrument. People forget that was only invented in the 1880s, I want to say.
I thought it was the 19th.
And isn't it?
But I could be totally
Don't three of us play the saxophone?
Used to, yeah.
Yeah,
used to play
used
the
to.
saxophone.
Yeah.
Maybe
Which
it's just
one?
me and Simon, but
No, I play
no,
it.
you did as well. Yeah, I knew this. I knew this. Yeah.
1846.
So I'd say
It was
Now
actually
I
older.
feel like a
Wow, I'm
weirdo.
totally wrong.
Yeah,
What
Shamini,
saxophone?
yeah.
Which one?
I was
I
alto.
play the saxophone.
Which were you, Simon?
Alto as well.
Tenor. The sexiest.
How do you even get
saxophone.
into playing the tenor saxophone? At
How
school,
do you
it was
get to play
only
a
alto.
saxophone?
You play recorder at primary
You
school,
specifically request.
and then they go, "Cool. Do you want to play clarinet or saxophone or flute?"
Tell you
And
what.
I went, "I want to be Lisa Simpson."
The
yeah,
the
I
cool
should do this
kids
for the
played soprano sax. Those things
That's
are
the talented kids play that because they're really good. And then like I think the cool kids play the baritone because
Harry the
agree with
Barry,
that.
yeah,
I agree
baritone
with that.
saxes.
The big ones. Oh, yes.
So weird.
Not, however,
Bloody
the largest thing.
saxophone
Did people know
Massive
that
saxophone nerds.
Adolf Sax came up with an idea for
there's
a
a bigger
weapon
one, isn't there?
called the saxo cannon?
What?
I'm not joking.
We'll be learning
Put
more
that
about
in
that.
the D&Debrief. Yeah, I was going to
The
say.
saxophone
Saxo
back.
The saxo cannon.
Okay,
That's actually
great.
his real voice.
So yeah, no, fuck it. I think we found our D&D for next week.
Excellent saxophones.
I do 25
Amazing.
minutes on the saxo cannon. Yeah.
And we should point out that next week it is next week. We are not skipping a week because the reason we didn't stream last week and we didn't have a podcast or video was because I was down a mine. A mine.
Fine. Fine. They call it a mine.
Which is very cool, and I'm making some videos about it. But yes, it is.
Was this a
next week.
neutron? Was this a neutrino thing?
Actually, hang on. I have a show and tell thing for the class. One sec.
Oh,
Is it
sorry,
neutrino
Fox.
show and tell?
We'll do a lovely description as he does it. He's gone to
So
the
basically,
shelf at the back of the
he's
room.
back.
He's put his headphones back in, so now he can hear that we're all talking still.
The thing about the mine was that it's an active mine still. Like they farm fertilizer there, and what they were looking for before was potash, but that was buried under a layer of salt, like sodium chloride, straight up salt, because it's the remains of a dried up sea. It dried up during the Permian mass extinction. But within the tunnels, then, to get to all of that potash and stuff, you had to go through this really thick layer of salt, which means that there are fragments. Like if I hold it up for the camera and actually focus it. So apologies, podcast listeners.
He's holding up a big lump of, I'm assuming, salt.
That is a pure salt crystal.
Oh, right. It looks like a
Transparent
dice.
crystal.
Are you gonna lick it?
Yeah, of course I'm going to lick it.
Beautiful.
Looks like my clear dice.
He's licking it.
Don't lick it!
Ah! He's making a face.
That's
Funny
got to be so
face.
salty.
It's very
You didn't
faulty.
actually do that.
No, I did. I have licked these repeatedly because it's the first thing everyone wants to do. They're like, "Can I lick the rock?"
I look it.
Oh,
Do they
Everyone
have
always
signs
wants to
saying
lick
you may
Simon's
lick
rock.
the rock?
The other thing. Okay, right. This is hopefully not too much detail, but I found out that the reason, so I should say it's a working mine, but there is a lab at the bottom of the mine which does dark matter experiments and a few other things, and they have the deepest flushing toilet in the United Kingdom. There's one in the whole
That's
mine,
a great fact.
and I did
what?
use it.
That's connected to
Does
mains
that affect
plumbing.
the physics of the toilet?
No, it's not connected to mains plumbing.
okay.
There's like a septic tank that somebody has to take out and bring up in the cage that they go down in.
Who subbed up just for the deepest flushing toilet?
Thank you, 8 Ashton, for subbing up for 19 months on Twitch.tv/Simon Clark for toilet facts. And
Podcast
basically,
listeners, YouTube, you too can.
but remember, it's an active mine, and that toilet is in the lab. So all the miners don't have a toilet. So in the process of digging out this mine, if you need to go to the toilet down there, you just find a tunnel and do your business, and then get back to work.
That kind of
And then
makes sense.
collapse the tunnel.
Which what
The entire tunnel.
what I was told was
No one can
you're picking up a lot of this stuff on the floor with your hands and licking it. You might want to be aware that there is a non-zero chance that someone has
Covered in
peed on these
shit.
rocks.
And yet you've done it on camera.
Oh, these are clean.
Yeah.
These are clean.
Are you sure?
But anyway, that's a long way of saying that we are back next week, and apologies for taking a week off to go and lick pea rocks in a mine.
Apology accepted? I mean, do I have that?
Phenomenal.
Amazing. Okay, so yeah, like someone said, we're back live next week, and the week after that we have a special one shot. So if you are catching up on YouTube or the podcast, the one shot will not go up on YouTube and podcast. It won't be part of the main campaign,
Special.
but it's standalone. So you might want to drop in live, twitch.tv
Yeah.
/Dr. Simon Goodart.
And that's on May. Give the exact date just in case people are
May the
listening.
5th.
May the 5th. It's the Wednesday in the first week of May. I think
That's the
4th.
4th.
May the 4th.
May the 4th be with
May
you.
the 4th be with you.
And also with you. Thanks, Peter Yoda.
We will be updating that on our social medias, so you can follow us there. And,
But
and
what
keep
are
up
our
with it
social
going
medias?
on. I think you can find them at RPGeeks DnD on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
TikTok's so incredibly busy. There might not be room for you.
Yeah,
So get in there quick.
you got to get in
if you
there
wanna
quick
see
if
it.
you want to be part of the
TikTok.
TikTok fam.
Yeah.
TikTok people really appreciate my accidental innuendo.
Calming
and just
jokes,
telling
yeah.
people to be calm.
In that TikTok, everyone go have a look at it now. But
Not right now.
did
after we
you?
finish.
How long did it take you? Did you actually realise in that TikTok what was going on? It wasn't until
there was
after
a point.
TikTok
There was a point shortly afterwards where Simon again dropped another hint. Where he
Right.
said something about I'll let you make me calm again later or something. He said it again in that, like he repeated it
Like-
back to me, and I suddenly heard it, and I was like, "Fucking God!"
It's like that's why Emily's crying.
I didn't even notice. I don't know what was happening. Oh my God! Well played,
You were
Simon.
very into
well
your
played.
roleplay, and
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah, thanks. So come back next week. Otherwise, we'll see you on the social medias. No, I just no. That's the thing that you say. It's a real phrase. Stop ruining English.
Never use the word. come again.
Somebody just yelling into the camera, stop ruining English! Oh, God. Thanks for watching, everybody.
That's all I got. I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.
Come again.